Want to welcome everyone to the Crypto Kingdom. This is London. We're going to go through Bitcoin. We're going to talk about the details. TA. This is House of the VIP in terms of the top level of membership. Want to welcome also Angel, top contributor, over 55K in terms of overall contributions. He's been in Bitcoin since $7.79. Excited to have you, Angel. Let's talk about the price action. We'll go through the technicals. Let me get out a few tweets. I just wanted to kind of convene this evening and make sure that all the VIP and base campers were trading, that you guys know exactly what's going on. Thanks for smashing the like button. I don't like to see somebody early and they don't even hit the like button. Come on, man. If you're here, if you like to be here, let us know. That's part of the reason that we will stream. And the other part is just kind of go over technicals with each other. So we will discuss the different patterns in play. We have quite a few different patterns in play right now. We have a perfect hitch, as you guys know. Just you have been following the technicals I'd say you've been following very carefully the technicals, and I would appreciate you guys shouting out in the comments, letting me know what's going on in terms of your trade game. Have you guys booked trades? Are you long? Are you short? What's your position right now on Bitcoin as we retest this level of support to just critical potential cross trend line right now? Just a very critical moment for Bitcoin as we look at 10,000 preceding level in around October 2020 to this secondary hit, and we can just slow down a bit to this secondary hit in what's this, July 21st to be exact on the date, right? Just under 30,000. Bam, bam, two hits and just carried up. That was, as you guys know, my specific line. That was specifically and exactly the point of the two hitches right in here. Let's just look at this. Just very interesting on the detail. As you guys look at the detail, you know I've had that line there for a while. We set on the top of it, bam. We set on the bottom of it, bam. On the daily, boom, boom. Was looking for that at some point with this line. I'm like, at some point it's going to pick up exactly. We had frustrated up and through the line previously, which was nice because we do have a flat top required for that ascending triangle. Okay, so it's kind of it's yet another opportunity to trade Bitcoin is what I would say for people. Is the camp that wants the all-in answer. Is it time to go? Yes or no? We're pretty good at calling that in terms of we definitely expressed a lot of bullishness at this level here preceding. I definitely expressed a lot of bearishness at this preceding level here, and people may want to know. I traded Bitcoin before that successfully. Okay, I traded before that. We didn't have a channel though, so before that was all kind of I don't know, on me. I was just trading Bitcoin, enjoying trading Bitcoin. So to the extent that we are in a moment here where people want to know what direction we're going, it's going to become, I'd say, a little bit increasingly frustrated. Let's pay attention to this. This is a very interesting technical here. The more that we operate in this specific zone this way, let's look at this. The more that we operate in this zone, I'll even put this as green. Okay, it doesn't have to do with anything in terms of, well, that would still be positive pricing, right? We would still like to operate in that zone. I'd say we could even categorize this a bit differently, because the more that we would operate in this direction and the further that we get down towards, let's say, that lateral just zone, if we were to have very basically to identify price and time, right? We would have a price function up. That's what we want to achieve. The time function in terms of the duration would be something that would essentially cost us returns as well. You understand that? So the further that we push out here, we will be able to essentially accomplish. And what I'm getting at ultimately is the function of this specific line, the specific level of prior support to resistance. And I'm just going to say this, and the need, let's frame it this way, and the need to go ahead and break this pattern soon, because we're at this threshold. We're at that level of prior support, okay? If that makes some sense. This probably the most of what I have said. I've decided to just relax a little bit tonight. We've been trading, doing a lot of stuff all last week, and just pouring into this week as well. So in terms of this specific level of support, since we're at the support, the whole idea is that we want to break that level of support, okay, to be able to capture the essentially the profitability, but I don't need to measure it in terms of time, etc. We can push further to the right if we operate in this blue zone more. It's just less desirable. I'm going to say that right now is a very prime time to break out and achieve the amplitude of the specific ascending triangle. Just if you trade a lot, you kind of understand what I'm saying. We're taking more time, etc. It's not that the deal is off, but it's just, well, since we're right here at the level of resistance, let's go ahead and take care of this. And the frustrating aspect would be the following: the more that we may get into, let's say, this kind of the time function, we'll get into this in terms of the time function, in terms of this duration, and the more that we were to operate in this zone of this level of support, resistance, if we were to choose to go support, resistance, it would not be a deal killer. However, if we were to do that, just let's get into this. And shout out to all the base camp, all the VIP, just shout out to all the traders, to the Bitcoin traders. Hope you guys are doing well, protecting your portfolio. Let's say we push out laterally. The issue that I want to bring to bear here, in addition to some additional patterns that would come to light, is that we may lose a bit of the force and effect of this specific ascending triangle. Okay, the flat top and the ascending line of support. We may lose a little bit of that if we do go out into a level here to where we still, after breaking out of the ascending triangle, right, we still have to deal with, yet again, the notion of this specific prior support to resistance line that we're currently at. Does that register? I need to know that registers. Okay, we're at a fine time. Let's say this: we're at a fine time to go ahead and break out of this ascending triangle, because we're literally right now at this level of prior support carried through. Time to break it now. If we push out further to the right, we're going to break out of, yes, potentially we could break out of an ascending triangle, and then we could still have the question on the minds of the traders. Okay, for instance, if we didn't push much, let's just say we decided to do something like this. You see, it just could become a little bit frustrating for traders, because, yeah, we could break out of the ascending triangle here, and we're breaking out of the ascending triangle, but then we're still left with the notion as to whether or not we're going to be able to conquer this specific line. Probably, there's two lines in Bitcoin for the entirety of the past, let's just measure this out in terms of the time frame here, the duration of the last, I'd say 500 days, right? A year and a half plus. That is the support line. That has been the support line of the trend. So that's the primary line. We could say that. In terms of the line of resistance, we'd have another, but that's the primary line of support that we want to deal with, and that we want to get back up and over. We're testing it again, essentially, and we would look for higher prices is what we're looking for ultimately. So sooner rather than later is the name of that game. I'd like to know what you guys are trading. Would like to know what exactly you've got kind of on your agenda. If you have some altcoins, etc., that you'd like to cover, I would be happy to cover those. That would be fine with me. If you guys want to cover a few altcoins in this run, we have. Let's see here. How is Luna doing? Very nicely. I don't know if any of you caught in and around. I covered Luna probably 2 or 3 times, right? Just 2 or 3 times during, I'd say, the course of the last few weeks. It was around that 50% retracement. So it's had a huge run, and we will discuss that just yet again. Its volatility is unmatched. In 2021, my price target of $4.60, I shared that with all of you guys. So that was just some work that I had decided to do for Angel in terms of a deep core acquisition. He asked that I do some, what was my opinion on it? That's what he asked. And I gave him a deep value acquisition in this zone. You guys will recall, in this zone, a deep core acquisition in this zone, $4.60, and we still have those details. That's nice. And so in terms of this more recent run, this more recent hit that it's gone through, and Luna, I guess, is staked second behind Solana. I believe is the most staked now. It is Luna just right after Solana. Very nice. A lot of people staking Luna. More into trading, but to the extent that people choose to stake, hey, great job. As we look at the 50%, just a heck of a move since that 50%, about a 84% about an 84%. Yeah, not bad, guys. Move to the upside in a period of time. I know you guys are specific on how much money you make and how quickly you make it. So when I have those discussions, when I talk about the issue here, and thanks guys for tuning in and hit that like button. So definitely Luna has just been incredible, right? We just had mentioned, I had mentioned the 50%. If you guys trade Luna, you know 50% is kind of its golden rule a bit. It had a little bit more aggressive, but really just there about the entire time on the way up here. If you guys will remember, if you were trading, it's like 50% was just kind of its sweet spot. Maybe it felt more aggressive. Some of the moves had a little bit more velocity on them. This specific move, about 48%. Quite a few of them, just between that 1/3 and that just a classic 50% retracement. Let's go into maybe the hourly. Let's take a look at how Luna kind of took off, just so you can pay attention to see if any other of your altcoins may be doing this. I know Phantom. It looks like it hasn't given up. Let's say that it's got one of the best patterns. Big wink on that. One of the best patterns in the market right now, Phantom. And it's nice to see Luna kick back up this quickly because it's joining the ranks of some coins. And now it may have exceeded the ranks of some other coins, but it's rejoining the rank of some other coins like Phantom, like Harmony One, that had a real strong second shot back up. And I don't want to classify them in terms of ranking. Well, this one's better than that one. But what I'm saying is that Luna has now trajected back up almost even with its specific all-time high. That is within a category of coins. Okay, that's within a category of coins, i.e. Phantom. Harmony One did the same thing. There's a few others that really got up and did well like that to re-challenge that all-time high, to reset course. If we were to look at, just check out Phantom real quickly. I think you guys will appreciate this and like this. Just when I say re-challenging that all-time high, you just see how Phantom got up, boom. Right, so in terms of that, it's an expression that we're familiar with. It's nice to see Luna join the ranks of this type of a price action. Okay, within within the more recent framework. Also, we had Phantom. What else do we have, guys? Harmony One did that as well. As you guys know, just price action. We're looking for price action, sheer price action. Let me go ahead and clean this up just a bit. But Harmony One also, boom, down to its. Was it its golden pocket? Bam, straight back up to challenge all-time high. We're making a note of the coins that are like this, okay, in terms of just referencing, categorization, right? Where do they, let's compare like Sand. Sand didn't quite do that. Sand hasn't done that. Great project, just stuck hovering around its golden pocket, right? So we're not going to be, first and foremost seen as altcoin traders. That's not necessarily what we're into. But if we find something with a lot of utility, etc., we're going to appreciate that very much. Someone's saying Rune. That's good. Rune's a good project. We hit a 2x for our group on that project. Hope it does well. I hope that Rune does well. You're invited to join our base camp at least. Let us know that you belong in our chats. We kind of keep this as exclusive till the VIPs show up. I'll let you kind of chit chat. How about that in terms of in that comment space? So yes, this ascending triangle here. Just be prepared because and people will say, well, how where are we going next? It's not a point direction. Everybody move. Let's buy or sell. That's not the idea. It's to be prepared for a potential move on Bitcoin back down to this level of support. Real easy. At the same time, it is be prepared, and it requires you to watch the market. You guys know that. That someone would be able to tell you exactly what Powell is going to do with the Federal Reserve and exactly when and how the market overall is going to take it. Be prepared for a breakout of this specific pattern, right? And even with the breakouts, always caution enough to be prepared for a potential fake out. Without a doubt, we have procedures in place to trade, just not over heavily handed, right? That's the idea, is to always have some degree. And I just tell you guys, because I'm not sure how long you've traded. Some of you may have traded for a while. if there were a vault underneath your trade floor, just make sure it is stacked with some heavy reserve capital. Okay, those are the guys who make it in this game. I'd say in the market. We don't need to call it a game, but just colloquial. But those are the guys who do well. Are the ones who preserve, have backup capital, and who are ready for. Let's just talk about the potential here. And I discussed this today earlier on the video that I cut was a potential for a return to this specific return to function that we keep seeing. Now here with Bitcoin, we have that flat top resistance along the top. That's required for a specific, and guys, there's a lot of patterns in play. We could draw out 3 or 4 in addition to a double bottom. We've got a, kind of an angled. If we were to look at this, we have an angled. We can draw the heck out of this thing, and there's no problem in doing so. But we're focusing on, instead of the inverse head and shoulders, right? Instead of just a double bottom. Okay, instead of those two patterns, for instance, and there's a lot in play, but we're going to focus on the ascending triangle right now, okay? And the notion that that we're focused on that in the macro is nice because it is bullish. First of all, that's nice, but it's a pattern that has presented itself multiple times recently, okay? So to the extent that we are looking for some predictives, we have a lot of sample sets in terms of pricing behavior or pricing samples that we can, just data sets that we can apply to it. Simple stuff. I don't want to sound overly complicated, but it's done this before. Okay, one thing that you look at in terms of it having done this before, Bitcoin having expressed an ascending triangle, which is met by a flat top resistance and an ascending line of support. The one thing that has been the one thing that has been, I'd say, characteristic of many, let's just say many, okay, not all, but many of the preceding, okay, this is a preceding in this zone, ascending triangle where we have a flat top resistance. Let me go ahead and just take this off for a moment. Flat top resistance here on the candle wicks. Okay, we traded this one. I hope you guys did too as well. We as a group traded it. Was the notion that as we were breaking out, or as we had broken out to higher levels, me being the squeaky wheel, okay, me being that reminder that you don't want to hear while we're up here in price. No one wants to hear it. Hey guys, remember, we may return to the prior resistance, okay? There's always an opportunity to return to prior resistance, okay, to either confirm it as support or to operate at a lower level if it fails to hold as a level of support. Show me prior resistance, I'll show you orders. That is the axiom. That's what I tell VIP, our top level members, all the time. We have some really heavy-handed traders, and just to let you guys know, I tell them all the time, show me prior resistance, I'll show you orders. When it's up here, no one wants to think about it coming back down to satisfy orders in this place. We all want it to get up and out. Everyone is on that emotionally. It's part of the psychology of the market. We want to get up and going, right? So as we would look at this specific, and I just bring this up because we have a flat line, a perfectly flat line here within 2 hits on the candle wicks is hugely important, right? Hugely, hugely important. As we would look at this, let's just let's review this in the context also. Yes, clearly we have an inverse head and shoulders. You say that's not an ascending triangle, that's an inverse head and shoulders, right? Well, if we go to the actual candle wicks on that inverse head and shoulders, and glad we can do this on the stream, okay, because we didn't cover this on the quick video that I let out earlier on today. Yeah, on that specific breakout, we still have some room to go, okay, measured on the extremitures of the candle wicks. If we just go to the line function, let's go to the hourly on the line function, you'll see more of I'd say a very easily respectable, nice angled, etc. in terms of the inverse head and shoulder. You'll also see what I brought to the VIP attention. I hope you guys traded this as well on the different time frames. Just a nice bull flag, classic move to the upside with an angle cutting to the downside. So that's angled channel, let's say, angled channel, always cutting against that move to the upside. We want it sloping downward. So whether or not you view it as just an inverse head and shoulders or a potential flag formation, those may compromise the markets. And I mean this really, it may compromise, I think it's valid to say this, it may compromise the markets wanting to get back to this specific level of resistance. This specific level of resistance, which would indicate if we just were to draw this out, which were to indicate essentially the top line threshold of an ascending triangle. So repeat, let's say this. The prior version, or the prior instance, let's say instance of the ascending triangle with a flat top resistance with an ascending line of support, flat top resistance, ascending line of support. When I said we may return to this level from here, it was based upon previous instances, previous moves, previous times that Bitcoin has shown us that it likes to return to this level. Just as a matter of fact, if you trade a lot, I tell you this, if you don't trade a lot, keep trading. Just be careful with the amount you're exposed at. If you do trade a lot, all I needed to do was say this one time. So that's really simple, isn't it? If you guys trade a lot, you already know this. This is easy stuff. You're prepared to return to this level. You understand it's a market dynamic that either the market will have the orders at this level satisfied or they won't. Is there a possibility that we get up and out of this macro formation from here? Without a doubt. And if you trade a lot, I just bring that up because a lot of people don't trade much. 43,777. Maybe they will maybe talk about trading. Maybe they'll fancy themselves to be a trader when maybe they're really not. They don't like to trade. All right, that's okay. But we take stuff seriously around here because we do trade. So and not to slight anybody, but it's just it's another world when you really trade. Not too many people do it, and if it's a little overwhelming for you, I understand that. I've been around some of the best traders in the world. I understand that, guys, and it's just not. Even they have bad days. Even they have bad weeks or they try not to have a bad month. I'll tell you that. They really try not to have a bad month. So if you're scheduling up what you're doing, and I will tell you this also, they do go through multiple accounts. The best traders in the world, when they're trading on the side, really aggressively going after things, they will blow an account up like no problem. If they're trying to aggressively turn in a small amount into a big amount, I'll tell you some of the best traders in the world will absolutely blow an account up. Okay, and I'm talking about some of the best in the world. Okay, I've been around them. I've had them as my friend. I've had them former. You see on the bottom left, former. What do we have for your Marshall said something in the comments, but as we talk about, I had a former hedge fund, and just looking at that, non-SEC, etc., but former hedge fund, and really had like the number one trader from Wall Street at my hedge fund. So that is just an indication I want to discuss with you. Yes, even the best in the business will literally blow an account up. He didn't blow up an account that was well funded. And we'll discuss it. He didn't blow an account up that was well funded, right? Ever. With me, some of the compromising factors that will accompany people blowing their accounts up are either manipulation. That can happen sometimes. Maybe you'll get into an account and you'll see it's been manipulated or something along those lines, or way too much in terms of the expectations of the returns will oftentimes create a negative, a decreasing value in that account. Is too much leverage or too much riskiness in terms of the behavior. So, but I just want to encourage you, if you can solve those factors, you can probably solve your negative returns. I always tell people, and I like to tell you this evening, that it's not a matter of if you can make money, it's how much money you can make. And that's the question that normally gets people upside down in their trading is, well, they were trying to make, they were trying to make that much more. Anybody can go through and hit targets, right? And that's still trading, right? As we would look at the macro Fibonacci's, right? Let's color this up here just a bit. These macro Fibonacci's, just to experience these again with the pricing dynamics currently in play, that 50%. It's a slow process to get to the 50%. If you're compounding down, you have sufficient cash allocated, and you have a reasonable expectation in terms of time. No problem, guys. You're gonna do pretty well. Bitcoin's gonna let you do pretty well if you cover your upside exposure and you compound in at lower levels. A lot of people just want to use the terminology buy the dip, right? Well, there are specific levels that you want to enter in at. The 38.2 was crucial. Boom, we hit let's just do this. Let me hide this real quickly. As we would look into that 38.2, nice, just slam dunk right into that level. The 38.2 hit just beautifully well. Boom, right into that 38.2. right? So as we look at the 38.2, beautifully hit. The 50%, beautifully hit twice, right? So this is not rocket science. It's not something that you need to ask, can I do it? It's just, can you do it within the framework of something that's reasonable and that you're willing to put real dollars into, and real expectations that are in line with those dollars. Okay, to the extent that those are out of sync, you're going to find you're just going to find yourself at a deficit, operating at a deficit. We don't want to see that. So we encourage you to be realistic, okay, in terms of your goals for 2022. And they can include multiples of things. It is crypto without a doubt. So it's not to back off of any ultimate goals, but just to express without hesitation the notion that you need to be reasonable in terms of what your overall game plan is. In terms of both capital allocation, that's a big part of it. You have to cover your upside. You have to cover your upside. And just don't expect yourself to cover it if you're telling yourself you're not going to cover it. Okay, if you have a preceding position, it's too risky, etc., don't expect yourself to cover it if you've told yourself you're not going to cover it, or if you refuse to cover it, right? The all-in idea, well, I'm just going to go all in this one last time, that's not going to cut it, guys. Sometimes it'll cut it. You'll be successful at times, and just for the most part, the guys I see that are trading with, let's say $1 million overall, a lot of them are trading the same as someone who may have, let's say $1 million trader may go in with a position of 50 grand. They say, okay, for right now, I just want to throw 50 grand in, watch it, get accustomed to it, etc. 50 grand. I'll see someone with 50,000 throw the entire 50,000 in at this level, right? So the one with the $1 million is going to have a better time. He can cover his position, etc. Not that if you're wondering why I'm covering statistics, there's been a lot of liquidations in the market in the last 100 days. I have consistently said, be prepared to double down, without a doubt. You guys, we haven't even gotten to the golden pocket. I wish we could get there. I've always said I don't know that we could get there. Okay, in terms of like the $25,000 range, I don't see us getting there. I wish we could get there. If we can get there, can you imagine how many more liquidations there will be in the market from the average retail investor? It's just going to be huge. So we want you guys to differentiate yourself from the average kind of retail investor. This is typically a place where the above average investor will hang out. So we appreciate your being here. So let's dig into the framework a little bit on any other coin that you guys might be interested in. We have AXS picked up a little bit, had a nice run. ADA. Let's talk about ADA. What is ADA doing? It is down in no man's land. Very interesting in terms of the price function of ADA below its golden pocket. It refused to get all the way in touch with its 786. Let's measure the exact. I just want to go through Cardano because we haven't touched on it recently, and it's probably a coin that will do well. We went down exactly, let's say 75%. Okay, now the 75%, you guys understand that typically I will go through and I will discuss. Let me go through, not GAN. We don't want let's see, which GAN do I want? GAN fan, GAN square, GAN box. Here we go. In terms of the Fibonacci's on the tail end of the discourse there, the discussion with let's talk about the Fibonacci's on Bitcoin. The next opportunity you might have to apply a different type of a price target, an entry into the market, would be with a GAN box. Okay, GAN box is going to have more standardized, the 25%, the 1/3, the 50%, the 60%, and the 75%. You may say, London, why do you bring those up? Well, look at ADA. Look at your ADA chart and draw out your specific GAN box there. You'll see that you cranked right into your 75th percentile. Okay, so to the extent that that both of them play, or either of them play, if you're looking for a specific target, at some point you're going to want to scale in when you get very, very close to those specified targets. But within a threshold, you're so close to that 786, just off by a few percent. But it would be nice to see if we were to look at the RSI componentry of ADA, etc. And what is this? Market cap USDT dominance. Market cap USDT dominance. Where is the crypto market headed? Very interesting in terms of USDT dominance, right? We have an inverse correlation with the crypto market and the dominance chart here. It's going to be interesting to see how this operates, because this could go either way. If this breaks out to the upside, this is the USDT dominance. If we break out to the upside here, symmetrical triangulation, were we to break out to the upside, then crypto is going to be headed south in terms of pricing. Were we to break out to the downside, crypto, or even fulfill down to this support line channel here, crypto should be heading north. So we're looking forward to that, okay? In terms of it heading north at some point, I do believe we're going to want to get back in touch with this line. I'm just going to say that. And this is a very big time frame. If you guys look at this, let's look at ADA on some of the specifics. I just want to cover, this is my chart to cover the purple line here. On that purple is the 30-day moving average. That's the 30-day, not 30-day moving average, pardon me, it's the RSI. I'm looking at these two on my side screen. The purple is actually the relative strength index at 30. Okay, there's a thin line behind here where we have, pardon for that, I've got 2 or 3 things, not much on this screen, but the moving average is going to be the orange 100. The purple is going to be 200. Reframe that just to make sure that I'm clear on that. This area on the bottom is just a visualized RSI indicator, which is why I went to here. You could just see right off the cuff, that's the RSI 30. So the reason that I went here is because we could just look at the chart right here, bam, and we can see that we just hit the 30 on the daily. I'm on the daily chart. The contact with this purple zone in here, with the purple zone, lets us know that we just hit, bam, right into the 30 on the daily with the RSI. Now, to the extent that will operate as a reversal feature, or to the extent that it did preceding here, look at the hit upon the 30 on the RSI for Cardano, operated as a better momentum indicator in terms of direction than it did as a reversal. So that's really a crucial, I'd say, understanding that I hope you guys can put in the framework of your trading for 2022 is, does the RSI 30, does it indicate a reversal, all right, or does it indicate essentially let's say market momentum? As you would look at, like, buyers pushing into oversold, and it continues. They're continuing to sell. So we're at an interesting point here again in terms of I'd say that specific indicator. Also, we do have, it's not really pertinent to the conversation, but those moving averages, which flipped up on my screen real quickly on that side screen. Just, I'd say, we're definitely underneath those moving averages, but the fact that we've come into contact with that 30 daily moving, I want to say it again, I'm still looking at the screen at the 30 RSI, relative strength index here on the purple. So I don't use that chart too much. We have this one much more clearly labeled, but just be aware of that. So we are at the 30 daily RSI. Okay, we have this one. Look at my side screen on this one. It's I say this is more clear, but yeah, I've got the entire side screen here. It's got the 20 or 30 that I'm used to in the order that I'm used to them. So I'll just stick with this chart for right now. I don't like too many charts at one time, but I wanted to show us in terms of the RSI. So if you're trading Cardano, good luck. You're low. We like low prices, without a doubt. We just like low prices. In terms of Atom, we can look at Atom again. Atom has got one of the strongest charts right now that you're going to find in crypto, period. Cosmos looking very nice in terms of a flat top resistance, ascending line of support, right? If we were to carry this up, assuming the buyers can continue to come in, this is probably, I just say it's the nicest chart. I'm just going to say probably the nicest chart in crypto right now, 122% to the upside. Now, time may be this factor in here, and we have some correlatives with some other coins that may mitigate the expectations here. But I just tell you, up to $40, adding $40 on the current price of $33. Adding an additional $40 would be an impressive 121% to the upside. So that's what's indicated in terms of the ascending triangle. It's just nice. That's exactly what we're, it's exactly what the market's looking at. It's just, it's a heck of a pattern, guys. Very, very, very interesting in terms of, you guys interested in bullish patterns? Look no further than Atom right now. AVAX has a nice, we'll just go through this. AVAX has a nice potential bull flag on the daily. I'd say carried over to the weekly. I'm a little bit careful of weekly bull flags, okay? But to the extent that we have a nice run to the upside with some sort of a downward sloping channel, AVAX could really be in for some nice returns in 2022. The project has really manifested as something that has gained a lot of respect. It's already hit its golden pocket, as you guys can see. And if we can break through this channel line structure here, you can kind of see that. We would have we would have hoped for a stronger move to the upside without this kind of chisel or these zigzags in this area. Really would have liked to see just a strong move to the upside here. Preceding is the flagpole, but I would just say this is still looking very bullish, particularly on the weekly time frame. Okay, the weekly time frame. Essentially, I went to the weekly to get a little bit more of a stronger pickup in this zone. To the extent that instead of the bull flag, the market wants to interpret this somewhat as, and we'll just go through this real quickly, somewhat as, let's say, some sort of a developing triangulation. I'd say that would be the secondary feature that I would be prepared for on AVAX. If you're into AVAX, you're probably very sold on its utility and its position in the marketplace. It's quite the competitor. It's got a great, I'd say, a leading edge on the technology. It's doing quite well. So we look forward to seeing gains on AVAX 2022. We anticipate such. Oil has got a decent chart. If we look at just oil outside the realm of crypto, I think everybody would just say, yes, that's. I understand that you guys have done well in crypto. Boom. Oil was at zero. You could have picked up oil at zero in 2020. It's at $115. That's one of those infinite trades, right? It's like, how much could you buy close to the lowest price you could get? That's the infinite production there. This is Brent crude, but I wanted to bring that up as we talk about potential gains in the market. Oil is doing extremely well. I know you guys are enjoying trading oil. So if you are, I don't know, maybe some of you are just sold out to crypto. There's no problem there, but never miss an opportunity like that. Don't have your blinders on too much in terms of those opportunities. They may come very rarely. So one of those infinite money making opportunities, I'd say. How much could you buy at how low the price? Right, close to zero now, up to well over $100. You're up to 115, and let's get going with that. Very interesting. So some of you got in, like Angel got in at 779 on Bitcoin. Yeah, in 2000, you're like, that'll never happen to me. Well, did you pass up the oil in 2020 when it went to zero? Be prepared with that. Maybe you guys want an interactive broker's account or something like that. Not sure. You guys maybe talk to your broker or someone else about how to set up an interactive brokerage account. I think you'll find those very useful in terms of approaching the overall entirety of the market. You guys will appreciate those, not just a Schwab or something else. That's the real deal, guys. If you really trade, that's kind of like the top trade platform. So look forward to you guys maybe doing that in 2022. Your Dogecoin, what's up with Doge? Doge looking a little bit dismal, although it's in those dismal states that you really get the feeling for the community, huh? Who is committed to Doge in terms of the 86% retracement? Hey, perfectly hit that 86, my own 86 classic retracement. You guys may wonder, like, why do you have that 86 retracement? For that reason, right there. In terms of that hit, it's been a nice hit and take up thus far. I just want to say we were a little bit disappointed with Tesla, and maybe say Doge overall decision to not reestablish Elon as the CEO. I think they chose Elon's dog. And I'm sure Doge will continue to do well, but we really wanted to see Elon back in that framework. We wanted to see Elon back at the helm with Dogecoin, and that just didn't happen. So it turns into a little bit less of a real situation for a lot of people that are investing when they say, well, the CEO now is a dog. I think it would have been nice to have, just my 2 cents, I think it would have been nice to have Elon involved in Doge. Dot is still low. Let's talk about Polkadot is still low. It is let's just talk about 67% from its all-time high, 75%, essentially just under that 75%. Some of these targets I had given individuals in terms of the market, etc., recently who were, being told that it was just going to take off from here. No problem. Absolutely. It was heading north. That was it. And we just don't shop our TA, guys. We don't compromise when something's not conforming technically, etc. Just don't get too wound up. You can always find the opinion that you want. That's easy. If the market were all about just finding the opinion that you want, that's the easy part. Everybody's going to succeed at that, right? That's not that can't be about that. As we talk about Dusk, Dusk is an interesting project. Had a lot of price action recently, but yeah, after the pickup on those specific pricing targets, I do believe that Polkadot is just a game right now in terms of who's willing to schedule into it at those lower levels and hit their targets. That's what I would say at this point, right? Given its kind of aberrant position right now, it's aberrant. I haven't given up hope on it, but it's just it's kind of become a bit of an aberration. It has decided not to participate in the price action, the cyclical price action. So I categorize it differently as of right now. As of the fact that I'm saying this to you, I think that's a fair statement in terms of it just not participating to the upside. There are quite a few that haven't really gotten going. It's just categorized in that level. Dusk is a nice project. Okay, it is square framed away, hasn't really received, like if we were to look at Elon, still relatively low. I'm going through these so you guys can maybe identify a few that you have some targets on, right? Maybe you want to schedule into a few that look like they're about to, maybe that fit in that category that haven't had the price action yet. Maybe some others that are going like Luna right now. Maybe you want to dig into those time frames and see if you can catch that next 20% day on Luna. In terms of of Ethereum is very interesting right now in terms of will the coil operate as a reversal, the specific symmetrical triangle? Will we get a reversal out of this specific formation? I'll just tell you, there's a lot of people looking at Ethereum for a trade right now. A whole lot of people wanting to capture a nice trade on Ethereum with some leverage, hoping that this can skyrocket, guys. We want Ethereum at a new higher price. There's no problem with wanting positive price action. Just make sure it's supported by your technicals. In terms of the moving averages, I bring up that 100 and the 200 right here because you're going to have to conquer that 100 and 200 amidst this breakout potential. All right. Yes, these should come down to about this line of resistance. We have a line of support, resistance, symmetrical. Okay, in terms of the move to the upside, let's just say that Ethereum could get up and over about a 44% move could be indicated. That would be very nice. It would still be below the high, at least when I called the high of Ethereum at 43,052. I always say 43,000. Every time I talk about Ethereum, I guess I'm looking for it over 10,000. Every time I discuss this chart, I always say 43,000. It's 4,352. So we would like it to be 43,000. I know those of you who are holding would also appreciate it being 43,000. It's just every time I do this chart. Next time I'll warn you in advance when I go over to the chart. But we're looking at a symmetrical coil to see if we can get it back towards that. And the exact target's 4,217. You guys, if you've been watching, like every time Linda brings up Ethereum, he says it's going to be worth $43,000. All right, maybe there's something to that. Who knows? Floki has been real low. Wouldn't that be great if there were something to the fact I keep messing that up? We'd look back at it when it's 50 grand and be like, you know what? I used to get I got a hard time whenever I would say it was $43,000 on accident. So we'll see. In terms of this specific framework of Floki, it's been real low. That new Valhalla just came out, and whether or not you guys are big fans or not big fans of Valhalla, it is somewhat of a new game. I'll just let you guys judge that. Ascending triangle. I brought this to VIP and to Angel yesterday. It flew up 20+%. That was a nice move. What was the overall trajectory here? About 36%. So nice move if you caught that preceding bull flag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 would be nice and expected within traditional Elliott wave. Not sure that we'll get traditional anything on Floki. It has been so low into that 90% territory in terms of the overall retracement. They did just complete, I believe, their Valhalla. Not sure you guys like it or not. I don't know. I was expecting more. I had to tell you guys, I was expecting more on Floki. Yeah, nothing wrong with the dog. I like Elon's dog's cool, everything else like that. Cool project, great. But I was expecting more. I just wanted to see more. I saw the demo one. I'm like, yeah, man, I wanted to see like different stuff, cool stuff. That's just me being honest, right? I wanted to see more. So in terms of, still could fly through the roof like Baby Doge. It could get legs and tear to the upside, I don't know. There's no like Visa card or integration or, some real, stout measures like that. Like Baby Doge has got some cool stuff going on that are really respectable. But let's flip gears to Phantom. FTM, boom. Like the fact that we have an equivalent double pickup here. Would like it to join kind of the ranks of Let's see here. Atom, right? Let's look at Atom. They feel very similar, right? It's just in terms of this flat top resistance, it's a distinguishing characteristic. I cannot put it in the same category as Atom, as Cosmos. Okay, so when I look at Phantom, the difference is, and maybe I can. Let's dig into it and see whether or not we can adjust this. There's just a slight decrease in the specific formation here. There's just a slight decrease. I can shop around to the different time frame or the specific combo, whatever we can, however I can try and push and bend this fact that this is descending. I can't. I can go, we can, if you guys want to try, let's go to the daily. This is what I talk about, just like shopping it. There we go. On the daily, now we have an ascending line. There we go. That's not quite it, right? The 4 hours descending. It's because the candle wicks are expressive of the primary frustration here, is the fact that on the lowest time frames you're going to find a dissension here instead of a flat top. The descending nature here is not as bullish as a flat top with an ascending line of support. Okay, that's going to be very indicative of like an ascending triangle, something extremely it's one of the most bullish features we can get. So looking at that framework, we can't put Phantom necessarily in the same category. Now it could surprise, but technically speaking, just in terms of the technicals and the expectations of the traders, technically speaking, we are in a position where where we can't categorize it as strongly as Cosmos. It may do exceedingly better than Cosmos, but for right now, we just maybe the daily is, let's just say, as close as we can get. Right, what we wind up with even on the daily is somewhat of, and the buyers are looking at this, guys. The market is looking at this to the extent that we wind up with some sort of a channel formation. That's great. To the extent that we are in any other type of I would say an ascending wedge, a little bit more difficult, right? If we're coming up off of an ascending wedge, just definitely the preference is that specific ascending triangle. It's just very clean. They're clean to trade. They make money. If you guys trade a lot, you understand that the ascending triangle is the preferred pattern, without a doubt. So Gala has recouped a bit. So let's talk about. We could go through Gala just a touch and kind of just review some of the coins. There's not a problem with doing that. It's kind of midweek. We'll go through a bit of a coin review, kind of shake the dust off of Bitcoin for 2 seconds. So we'll get right back into it. Right, we don't do that for too long. So in terms of Gala, we had a reversal procedure here. After a nice run to the upside, Gala went up over 100%. I think over 100, and we can measure, but from wick to wick, from low to high of the intermittent here, we were over 158% to be exact. It was 158%. That's just really dynamic as we would look at the overall retracement that it achieved and offering buyers a really nice discount, 81%. So a little bit off in terms of or past that 78.6, but just a nice discount. So those who traded Gala was one of the ones that I brought early on just because of the utility. They have a $100 million reserve fund that they are developing with, etc. So that's really nice to see. In terms of Sheeb, let's look at Sheeb. I bring up Gala and then Sheeb because Gala went that 150%. Sheeb went 108%. So Gala really outperforming the field in terms of its in terms of the value and in terms of those returns. I know a lot of people who are interested in Sheeb, and we'll be keeping an eye on Sheeb as it had retraced to its 78.6. They're just past. I've got some different indicators on. Let me go ahead and clean up the specific. Let's clean this up. Let's go through. I had laid out two channels here because, and I put Cardano kind of as a reminder up here in the corner because it was behaving like the Cardano chart, and no one really asked me, but I just went ahead and did it. I had encouraged Angel to double down his position lower here. Go make $5 million. Go if you want to, right? It was there for the taking. And in terms of that, it's never just anything beyond. Would love to see you make $5 million. Boom. So that's what this would have done. I think in excess of that. In terms of that golden pocket down to the 78.6. If we're not here to help people and to help you and to help him make returns, then I don't know why we're here, guys. That just doesn't make any sense. When he's the super chat king, etc. When I say that, if he does well, that's why I like when he's here, because when he's here super chatting, we know he's doing well. Like we talk about the sheep trade. Now, I'll say this: I know he hasn't been feeling well. A lot of people have been sick recently. We get into it. It's like, well, maybe it doesn't matter at all about the returns. It matters about whether or not you're doing okay. I just hope he's doing okay. So definitely that stuff can affect your trade game to the extent it has or has not. I'll just say that we are hoping you're feeling okay. Angel, brother, more so than Sheeb or Adam or Luna or whatever. That stuff comes and goes, but you got to get back up on the horse. You got to get back up on the saddle. It's VIP are missing you, brother. But that goes in terms of the super chats or anything, just letting me know that you're doing well. The whole idea of this channel is to have people who are doing well do better than I've done, do better than Angel has done, do better than you've done, right? Impress us, impress yourself, impress your family, like impress everybody. It's not too difficult, to come up with that notion that you could do that. Make 2022 that year you do it. Slam around with some super chats, make some noise. Right, I think Angel's the leader in terms of YouTube, etc. In and around. I don't see other people that are really coming up. I see some other fashion channels in terms of maybe the level of involvement that someone has chosen to take. Maybe it's not all super chat. Maybe they've invested in different ways in the channel through trades or otherwise. But to the extent that it's that's Angel's preferred method of involvement here in terms of letting us know he's doing well, then that's phenomenal. That's really nice. If you guys are doing well, let me know about it. Take Angel's lead. If you would like to be, involved in some other aspect here, you let me know. If you guys are doing well or appreciate what we have going on here, we really try and deliver the utmost in terms of technicals. And I had to say for this stream, I just woke up from a power nap. I decided to take a power nap. So if I'm a little bit foggy, shouldn't be the case all the time because I don't always take power naps. So I have to just be honest with that. I just did take a power nap. So I had to wake up. I'm like, I got to get up. I got to do this. And I just needed a little bit of extra Z's in my pocket, okay? And not anything else. Just need some Z's in my pocket. That's what I need in terms of this level on Sheeb. Let's go through something the market is trying to see it hold on to. Could be a nice formation. We'll discuss this specific ascending triangle here. Have deeply dug into it, just like on Bitcoin. Okay, similar patterning formation. This hook into this flat top resistance here across the top is interesting. It's not ideal, but it is nonetheless expressive of something that, as long as buyers continue to pick up, and that is going to be the key, guys, that the buyers continue to pick up along this level of support. And I'll say this, you could say the criticism would be, well, London, that's so easy. You're going to say buyers would pick up, it's going to go up. Yes, but within the threshold understanding of this, guys, I do understand this, that even if the buyers were to just pick up a bit in this zone, they're going to start drawing, they're going to start recognizing that, hey, we have this ascending triangle. The good traders are already looking at it. Okay, so when I say yes, to the extent that buyers can pick up and push up this level of support, the more, even just pushing up slightly in here to get them drawing out, would they start to draw out a symmetrical triangulation, right? Would they start to draw out I'll say they'll probably draw both in line with that symmetrical kind of triangulation there, in line with that ascending triangle. Two things that could serve as either a coil reversal, COIL, right, the symmetrical triangle, or the straight and easy flat top resistance with the ascending line of support, just really bullish in nature, kind of the fundamental of TA, that specified ascending triangle. So we're looking forward to seeing how Sheeb buyers participate in the market. We will see. Not sure what else they have going on. I think they have. I reviewed that. What was the Floki Hala, Valhalla? What that was. With Sheeb, I think that you're going to be able to work out and burn Sheeb. I think they have that in terms of their ecosystem, the Shebaverse, the Sheba Swap. They've got all different types of things that are ongoing. So that's a lot going on that Sheeb has with its holders, AMC, etc. They're trying to lump in or away from Doge. I don't know. It's a similar coin enough in terms of the origination, kind of the timing and hitting the market in 2021, and some of the returns that people have had. I do know people that have made incredible money in both. So in terms of Rose, we could talk about Rose, top line resistance, bottom line support, recapitulated down to the golden pocket. Okay, currently, that's an interesting. The one, let's talk about this. It's an interesting point rebound for us to be at to contemplate getting back up and above this previous line of support. Okay, can we recapture this area in here? It would be very nice to see it. It already had 1, 2, 3 strong hits. Very, very nice in terms of the price action of Rose was really, really nice. Let's discuss Link down towards the bottom. I appreciate that. I think that Luke in the back. Luke, what's up, brother? I think that you in the back let us a Link chart out. That was very nicely done in terms of that. Luke is a great VIP. He's the reason VIP is around. In terms of the specifics for Link, I will probably save those for the back room with him. But yeah, he was looking at an ascending triangle, I believe, in this zone. Also, the specific here, and it's just it's not easy to see a lot of these. And are they just in the midst of performing like an inverse head and shoulders? Is so clearly indicated. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder on Link. Boom, boom, boom. Very, very clearly indicated. And yeah, you guys pay attention to that upside target. You know what that upside target would be. The distance, the amplitude there from the head to the neckline, bam, measured up would be an additional, if we could confirm and move up, an additional 16.65%. So just one good day, Link is at its target. Let's look at Matic. I want to bring up Matic after looking at Rose because Matic is another example of a coin that needs to try and regain its overall threshold in terms of this, the overall threshold prior support breached, I'd say confirmed as well as resistance now, but to regain that primary channel from 2021, that price action was just phenomenal, particularly the origination here, which we played a real big part at for the traders of Matic. For anyone who was around, we were the go-to guys in terms of the price targets and everything else. Huge volatility on Matic, so it's calmed down a lot since those days. Still capable as it was towards the end of 2021 of producing some really great gains on up through just the turn of the year. The turn of the year was really that point in time where I had let people know, it's like, careful of this throw over. Told people, careful of this throw over. Technically, it's supposed to go down, and nobody wanted to hear it. I just know that no one did, but technically, yes, this is one. It's supposed to go down. A throw over supposed to go down. It's and certainly I don't want that to be the case, but just pay attention what a throw over is. Why is that correct? This preceding line of resistance. Once you're up and over at the threshold, guys, you just the statistics are you're going to become a retracement part of that retracement. I'd say framework, even beyond this level, this lower level of support. It just is the case. We have traded a lot, and we understand that to be the case. And Matic, unfortunately, was not the exception. So we always try and go by this probability. So to see Matic pick back up would be phenomenal. It just kind of seems kind of expressive in a bulky sense of that top level formation that Ethereum had. If you guys know that wedge that Ethereum had towards the top, I'll just show Matic there, and we'll look at Ethereum real quickly just to show you there. Yeah, that top line, if you remember that, right in this area, this level right here, just that wedge formation. Very interesting. Just getting the same kind of vibe off of Matic and that specific wedge. Okay. And boy, I knew some guys who were going along. It had just broken down. They were convinced it was going back up here. It's been a while now. That was, how long ago was that? That was 2 months ago, right at 2 months ago. But this specific wedge formation, as we just talk about the similarities in the charts, etc., we learn a lot from the market when we do this sometimes. The specific wedge formation on ETH versus the specific wedge formation on Matic. It's just reminding me of, it just seems reminiscent of that chart. We have the Matic, kind of this wedge formation here, and not that we would be headed in the same direction, but just to talk about, we would like it to beat that pattern on ETH, certainly, but that specific pattern here just feels very familiar to the Ethereum pattern that we had along the top here. And we'll just make that comparison one more time for you so you can see that. Always doing comparative diagnostics when able. Always wanting to see what the market can show us, one coin demonstrated to another. And sometimes it plays out. We learn which ones like to correlate and don't. I'll tell you that by paying attention. In terms of that feature there of Ethereum, just one more time back over to to Matic. Just an interesting scenario. It's technically a bullish pattern. So as I talk about regaining, when I say this, when we talk about regaining the topside channel here on Matic, we're currently within the framework of being in a bullish pattern here that we'd expect to continue to the upside. Were we to break to the downside of this specific falling wedge, it would be a high probability trade to try and enter around it here, okay, around that golden pocket area, because it would. And I can say this on Bitcoin. We've done the research, the data on Bitcoin, and seen that return to function frequently. On the other coins like Matic, I'll just leave it for you guys to trade. How about that? I'll let you guys trade if you want to trade a breakdown from a falling wedge, a bullish pattern. But we would expect this to complete to the upside in a normal market with the probabilities we'd expect to move to the upside. So currently $1.60. We pay attention to Matic because we traded it so much. In terms of Near, has had a really great pickup. Love the project. Would love to see additional positive price action for Near. Really some aggressive pricing early on. I brought it to the community, to everybody around this area before we really started getting up and going. So, and it could have gone higher. I'll say that it could have gone higher. Had some good trade days. Wasn't really it wasn't a hugely high velocity event. We would have liked to have picked up Near in this area down here at about $1.80, right, and seen it gone to 20. Catching it up in this area is not always the easiest, but we will do it nonetheless when we see a nice project that's developing like Near. Looks like you just hit into your golden pocket. So a lot of these are off target, but they're just kind of updates in terms of where you are at on the different projects. Sol. A few problems on its network. You guys know that, but I just repeated a few times because it is one of those coins that is in the framework of being pretty low. And I don't know. I discussed and brought to the VIP, sold to the VIP around $29, $30, okay, and around that $25, I'd say $25 to $30 in this zone here before it really went up to 200. I'd say 240. Was it 250? About 240, I believe. About what is this? Let me look real closely. 260 to be exact on this. Depends on if you're on the line of the candle wick. 260 all-time high. So close to a 10x. I'll say close to a 10x from about that $25 to $30 range. We've covered this in specific videos, etc. On into the different functions. Let's look at the weekly real quickly. You can just see the nice retracement that we've had on the weekly time frame. Weekly all-time high on the lines is right at that 250. So as we would look at I would suggest you always go to the candle wicks to get the precise measurement there. We don't trade Sol that much. I've really backed off of Sol to let you know since the network congestion issues, etc. I've just backed off of it. So in terms of it being a high priority coin, it's not right now. It is low. If you guys get in, it could go a little lower. In my opinion, I'd like to see it a little bit lower. I also let the VIP know and everybody know in around this level here, it was a take, get out of the market and take. Due to the fact that we were breaking a key level of support. So I didn't want you guys to be in the dark or left in the blind there. So we haven't really covered it heavily since then. So I need to kind of do a refresher up on Sol just a bit. It's a nicely fashioned technology. I'll say that. It just seems like at the end of the day, it's like I'd like something that doesn't have network congestion issues. We'd like something like XRP. I'll tell you that, and maybe differently categorized. But in terms of projects, we like XRP. It's just that SEC issue. There's a lot of different facets that go into what we say, just the evaluation of the coins. It's not always. Sometimes it's purely technical, right? Let's look at this. This is not bad in terms of the top line formation here. Harmony 1 is close, right? It's close to having a flat top along the top, as we would talk about Atom being maybe the best in the market right now. And if you want volatility, Harmony 1 is difficult to beat overall with the levels of volatility. It's a nice early project. Had better price action than GameStop before I showed up. Okay, and I showed up around here to help people go through the idea of a retracement to get them down to that specific like 4 or 5 cent level. It's just a nice, it's a nice developing project to watch develop. We'd like to see it get up in that a respectable range of a couple dollars, $3, something along those lines if it can get up into that zone. The notion that we almost have a flat top here, okay, it still has that angle on it. I'm still looking for that flat top. It's just exactly what I want. On the candle wicks, we have a descension. Okay, we have a descension would include, I guess it would impute, or it would indicate, we'll say, just some sort of a triangulation to be in play. So Harmony One is not a stranger to volatility. People with low prices, I know the ones trading, Craig, new VIPs, probably with the understanding, like, get it down to the 78.6. I mean, he'd be happy to see that. Nice chart work in the back, incidentally, on one. Without a doubt, I would say it would be nice to see the 786. Let's see here. In terms of that play, is just we're shy of that right now. We have gone beyond the golden pocket, but this is just when the traders on Harmony One get real involved and around this level. A lot of them trading on leverage. They like the ride. They like the volatility. They like that. No one can beat Harmony One on a really incredible Harmony One kind of full throttle day. It's just it'll jump up and surprise the market. Luna has done well in terms of almost taking that over, but it's just Harmony One has it in its genetic code that it can pop up like 40%, 45% on a single day. It can just absolutely take off like lightning. So Luna has the overall chart. I'd say Harmony One still has that. To be determined in terms of how aggressive it can become, that velocity, and how much it can surprise the traders who aren't paying attention to it in times like these. Okay, and I just said that in terms of times like these, how many traders are not going to pay attention to it down at these levels, because it will surprise. And if you could get lower levels, you would be lucky. If you can stack this down in terms of your overall targeting here, I just tell you guys, it's not for everybody. You have got to double down into it. But if you would look at a 1-2-3 punch on Harmony One, 1-2-3, that'd be great. The traders of Harmony One would love this if you could go 1-2-3. But I tell you, they are ready for 1-2-3, just very quickly, no problem. They are completely prepared for that, and Harmony One can support that. It's not a crucial segment of the blockchain, which must be is on the top of Berkshire Hathaway Holdings or Wall Street Journal front cover. It's just not. All right, but what it is a lot of volatility in a cool project that has some utility. So the former guys from Google, former guys from Google Maps, or different divisions there have decided to get together, and they founded Harmony One. So it's a good team. It's got that management, development, and utility that I like. So it's not like if you would look at Sheeb, it's like we don't need to be too discerning. Like Sheeb has some utility to it. They're trying to put the framework together for something. Harmony One it doesn't have that level of adoption, but it is in terms of the overall interest of the community at large. I mean, Sheeb community is much larger. Doge community is much larger than Harmony One. But I think there are some real componentries that make Harmony One worthwhile in terms of the technicals behind it. So definitely ready for those lower prices to scale into it. And if not, that 786 would be nice, right? As we would look at that, the 786 at 9 cents, it would be amazing. Get 9 cents again and head back up to something like 50. That'd be nice, like a 5x on that would be amazing. Watch yourself on leverage with one. Watch yourself on leverage with one. VeChain, some old names. I've got the full list of all the coins that I can discuss and go through in the back, or go through in a private stream, or maybe just more of a dedicated stream. But yeah, looks like not a bad hit, to tell you the truth. VeChain came up off of this classic 86. My classic 86 here has been on hold here with VeChain. If you hit that, you're up 31.27%. Not bad in 8 days. Really not bad as we would look at this. So VeChain just got down to that same level that Dogecoin just got down to. Kind of similarly, oddly connected in terms of kind of timing, in terms of kind of retracements, etc. That's about it. Nothing to do one with the other in terms of technology, in terms of the actual application, one to the other. So Bitcoin off a bit. We will look at the framework here that we are, let's see, off 1.33% to 43,304. And we've just hit that 100%. Let's say that 100, let's go through this real quickly. We've hit the, in terms of, you guys want to go through, I don't even know if you want to go through the retracements, the extensions. Let me forget before let me see if I can pull back on the extensions. We have the retracements, we have the extensions. Retracements are to the downside, extensions are to the upside. Let me see retracement. Let me see which one this is. That's the same one. Let me get rid of that retracement. Let me find the extension if I can. The Fibonacci, let me look on the right. Where are we at? Fib retracement. Which one is this one? It's another macro. Let me get rid of this one. Here we go. Extensions. Boom. Okay. There we go. That'll do it. That's in line with what we wanted to see. That's the level of extension I was looking for. Okay, so we have okay, we can discuss in terms of the extensions. Let's talk about the extensions. We have a full completion of this preceding amplitude move to the upside. We have that flat top achieved thereby. The top line resistance required for this ascending line of support, essentially to establish in combatant there, the ascending triangle framework. Very bullish pattern. We would not be, just to kind of recover in terms of what we discussed earlier, we would not be disappointed to see additional patterning throughout the entirety of this formation here. We do have, I'll state this, as we look at coming into contact with the 100 moving average on the daily, 200 moving average would be just above. We just contacted the extension as measured from the preceding low of 30,000 to the all-time high on the lines drawn, the extension, this preceding move, okay, with this retracement, that is giving us, guys, the 23.6% currently accomplished, that first target level of the extensions as having been satisfied. We satisfied it once, we satisfied it yet again. Buyer stepping in with a higher low. I'd say a higher low is crucial as we build out the essentials of this ascending triangle. So in terms of the entirety of the macro, we did discuss the Fibonacci. So in terms of the macro Fibonacci, let's discuss the framework here on the macro. Okay, on the ground zero, literally priced zero to all-time high. We have come into contact with the mid-level function, which is above the golden pocket, mid-level function of 50%. Okay, we did not get past beyond the 50% in the summer of 2021. This was as good as it got. All right, so to expect more of a dig down into the golden pocket, it would be amazing. It's almost like it would be unbelievable if we could get there. It would be really, really helpful to people looking for value and to multiply their overall profit potential. So it's nice to experience gains. We definitely want positive pricing, but to the extent that we can get down into, let's say, a golden pocket, something like that is just, it's exciting. 786, 86. I don't think that we're going to be seeing 786 and 86 on Bitcoin. I just don't. But then again, I didn't think we'd be seeing war like this, okay? To the extent that Bitcoin could become that safe haven asset, I would really, really just encourage everyone to have a position in Bitcoin. That's the bottom line. Just have a position, right? And not just I put $5 into it. Yeah, have a position in Bitcoin. Be ready to schedule into it at a lower level. With the development aspects of the space right now in terms of crypto are just too exciting to ignore. I think we would all agree with that right now. It's a good thing we have a leg up on the markets on that. I want to congratulate anyone who's trading oil. Okay, and anyone who took advantage, because oil, guys, oil right now is over 1.15 a barrel. Anyone who has been trading oil and who acquired oil when it was around or in negative pricing or around zero, anyone who acquired oil, I just want to say that congratulations to you, because you just had your infinite, essentially your infinite trade. I'd call that in terms of the returns. You're at $115 right now, and just an infinite return trade. How much money can you put in? How much money do you want to make? And how low of a price do you actually want to consider getting? That's literally what you were just faced with within the last 2 years here, as Brent crude is back to $115 a barrel, guys, from zero. So it's just, bam, that is an infinite trade. So as we look at, you say, well, people get in, hey, what's going on? Nice to see you, Luke, in the house. Nice to see Luke, VIP. What's going on, Luke? I'll chat with you in 2 seconds. Let me have a sip of coffee. So, Luke, appreciate you chiming in. Was just discussing, just for a bit here, Brent crude, or we could go West Texas Intermediate, etc. But those infinite trades, right, as we would talk about, like Angel got into Bitcoin at $7.79. Just a really impossible just trade. He made it. He's proof that the impossible can be done. It's just awesome having him around. When we talk about when we talk about like an infinite trade, man, you just make an infinite amount of money is the idea. Like you have an infinite amount of money. That's the idea. With oil, within the last 2 years, you guys were around for COVID, et cetera. When you hear the shocks fall off the car and it's dragging on the pavement in terms of whatever aspect that may be, you need to start looking at it like, okay, oil's down to zero. Did you guys get involved? As we look forward to, additional kind of infinite money trades like that, it's like, yeah, the idea is, yeah, you could make an infinite amount of money. Like someone you would look at, like, who got involved with Bitcoin early on would have, that's kind of like an infinite trade, like oil going to zero, from zero to 115 dollars is kind of like an infinite amount of money, like an infinite trade. How much money would you want to put in at a lower price? But it becomes, when you look at the lower price, it becomes like that. Like, Bitcoin actually itself went to, within like a cent, within 1 cent of just ground zero. I think that was the low. We went through those details. But it turns into like an infinite trade in terms of those return calculations. I encourage you all to be looking on the lookout for them, because it wasn't just, and it's not just Bitcoin, it's not just oil, it's crypto throughout the entirety. Buying low and selling high, something with the the overall historical valuation of oil to go to zero or negative is just really wild, isn't it? So to pick up on that, anyone who did, I congratulate you. And that is the idea, kind of. And when I say infinite, it's just that infinite. We say just you have an infinite amount of money. It's different than like, well, I have to watch the purse string here. I have to tie my right shoe, tie my left shoe, and maybe this will work out or not. We don't want to do that, guys. That's not VIP, right? I got to tie my right shoe. I got to tie my left shoe, and maybe the purse string will let me do this. No, guys, like get an infinite trade. Get one infinite trade. Just put that on the agenda for 2022 to get. Let's do an infinite trade. Let's try and work on that to where really you're only expressed in terms of like something goes so low that your literal only question is like, how much money do you really want to make? Like when you really start asking that question, it's like, well, how much do I really want to put in? How much do I really want to make? That's like an infinite trade. Like the idea of having an infinite amount of money, right? So we don't want the purse string. We don't want I have to tie my right shoe and then my left shoe and make sure that my right shoe agrees with my left shoe or my right purse string and my left. We don't want that, guys. That's not VIP. We want the infinite amount of money. So anyone who traded, the point is, anyone who traded oil, congratulations. You have that. I know some old VIPs that probably did or were involved around it. Actually, old VIPs that were around it, they did not trade it. So they were involved in the industry, et cetera, but I don't think they traded it. That's a shame. I wasn't trading at the time. I was being a advisor for the president of the United States. So I wasn't trading then. But in retrospect, maybe I should have been trading instead of being an advisor. I think that would have been good. I could have done both. I'm sure. But well, that'll help me scope out my 2022 and there beyond as I look at the infinite trade, the infinite amount of money. I don't know. Very interesting. So as we look at Bitcoin, let's reframe. Now, when we start to get negative pricing, just even a bit, what happens to all the longs? Well, they start to think, well, maybe I need to let go of my position, right? What's the key crucial aspect of being okay with your trade, of not sweating it at all, is a low entry, as we talk about like infinite trades, etc. Right? Just an infinite amount of money. That's the goal here. It's not to, we're around crypto. People have done extremely well. We're cognizant of that. And looking at Luke, in the chat here tonight, I know that you have goals. You're also busy with a lot of other stuff. To the extent that you have big goals in crypto for 2022, we want to know what they are. What are your goals for 2022, Luke? And I just want to put that in the chat here so I can help you achieve those goals. That's the idea, is I want you to achieve those goals. All right? That's the whole idea in terms of what we want to, the framework we want to put together for the VIP. I think of AJ Crypto. I hope he's listening. I want to know what your goals are of 2022. That's the bottom line. I want to help you achieve those goals. Angel for 2022. I want to know what his goals are. Craig, what are your goals, right, for We've got more guys in the back. You guys let me know when you kind of get through here. I can go through the names in the back, but I won't right now. Just those are the names that like immediately come to mind as I look at some of the base campers. Be like, well, I don't want to upgrade. I don't want to do it. Like, what? Do you have any goals? Like, do you have any goals? If you don't have any goals, you're not ready to be in VIP. I was going to tell you, you're not ready to be in VIP because we have looking at Josh in the bottom right, $1 million champ. I put him up to that challenge. He didn't come to me and say, London, I want to make $1 million this year. No, I put Josh to that challenge. All right, I put him to the challenge, and he did it. And it was nice that he gave me the credit for it. Just all full onslaught. London, I listened to everything. I applied it, and everything he said, I listened to everything you said. I applied it, and I did it. And that's really cool for me. That's just important. So looking at the framework of what's a VIP, I don't have it. This is funny. People would say, well, I don't have the money for a VIP. Well, what are your goals? Do you have a goal to make money? If so, how much money? Right? What's the idea? What's the overall? Richard would be a top guy. We didn't want to really mention him too much. He's VIP. Just coming in from Korea. Nice to have you, Richard. I just wanted to know, like Richard, he came up to me with the idea of a goal. I love that. Like he has some goals in the market. Very, very nice to very, very nicely done. That's what it's all about. That's VIP. Like structuring your time with the market, with me, etc. In terms of let's meet those goals. And if I know your goals, I can help you accomplish them. That's a lot better than not accomplishing goals throughout 2022. It's just like a checklist. It'll either be checked off or not in 2022. So let's check it off. Let's get it done. Let's do what needs to be done. Let's facilitate the accomplishment thereof. I released a video earlier today. Hopefully you saw it on YouTube. Boy, those videos are exhausting to cut. I want you guys to know that. They are exhausting to cut, but that's okay. As we would look at the framework on the hourly, what I covered was a specific line of resistance, and that's what I had anticipated would occur. It's not a big move yet, but in terms of the level of resistance, let's just take down the specific ascending triangles here, okay? In terms of the level, this specific cross trend line here hit resistance, hit support on the 1 hourly time frame for Bitcoin. Currently at 43,300 off 1.36%. Not a big deal right now. As we would look at that, we had established, and I had pointed out this preceding cross trend line, guys. Hit here, hit 1, hit 2. Okay, hit 1 would be resistance, hit 2 would be support. Definition of a cross trend line. Discussed in depth in that as quickly as I could in the time frame allotted. But in terms of the angulation, just this specific angle here, very crucial in saying that, yeah, there's some sort of pre-existing line of support or resistance that's in play. I just see it. Right, so even before we were to draw this to the back here, just really, really crucial. So to anyone who has decided to enter into a short, you're currently in the money. If you've done so on leverage, congratulations. That's not badly done. Congratulations, anyone who has made just a small amount of cash on a short. Way to go! If you're on enough leverage, you can do well on that. Okay, so looking at kind of this pour down feature, let's lighten this up just a touch. And get back into zone here. I thought earlier today, I think you guys will like this. One of the things that makes Bitcoin the easiest thing to trade makes it the most difficult thing to trade. I wanted to share this with you guys. We haven't talked about this. If you trade Bitcoin a lot, you know this. One of the things that makes it the easiest thing to trade makes it the most difficult thing to trade. Okay? It's the habit of traders to want to pick up exactly with what you're seeing right now, to want to pick up at a lateral, a preceding level of support. It's just known for this. If you trade Bitcoin, you know this, okay? You'll have traders coming in terms of the price action, you'll have traders coming in wanting to and continually just almost to the point of defying the odds. They will establish a low, they'll get into a threshold on the high, they'll come back and park around the low. They'll just hang out here. Okay, depending on the time frame, that seems to be fashionable. Otherwise, they'll just want to pick right back up at the low. They'll get an express high, then they'll want to pick up around the low. then express high, then they'll want to pick up again around the low. It's just the nature of Bitcoin. If you trade it a lot, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It loves to range. When it starts to carve, right, the traders are consistently looking at these specific preceding supports. Now, why does that make it difficult to trade? Because that makes it easy to trade. You have a lot of price action. You'll get the slam downs. That was Ukraine here. But in the context of, let's just say, ordinary patterning here, you're going to come up with some ranging, right? Some swing trades. Swing trades can be very profitable on the right type of leverage, okay? If you guys are working in the perpetuals, I would recommend that you do so only lightly, okay, till you really, really understand them. But if you have the funds to invest and you're just enjoying your investing, you could play the odds and the dynamics of compounding into perpetuals as well. A little bit more complicated, but not much. So the notion that it's easy to trade, pick up at a prior support, okay, that's in the characteristic set of Bitcoin, okay? Now, within the framework, though, as that continues to play itself out, and we go through a lot of this kind of micro patterning for Bitcoin, we really focus on it more than maybe anybody. I like to know what the micro is doing here. But you see the preceding pickups along, pickup 1, pickup 2, along this preceding support here, bam. Now we're testing that next threshold down. And the buyers at some point will sometimes become a little bit more cautious, right? They'll want to operate just a little bit further under the preceding level of support. Sometimes they'll jump in just a little bit above right here, just a little bit above here. So the characteristic set that we develop in terms of the price patterning becomes, it is Bitcoin. It is the big move. You guys know it's the big move. And then it's a lot of traders trying to get in preceding levels of support and establishing takes at levels of resistance. Okay, and as we do that, as that manifests itself, and when you trade Bitcoin, even in like this zone here, as you trade Bitcoin, buyers becoming a little bit, working on, okay, we've established a pattern, working on, let's say, pickups in terms of releases as well, in terms with overall pattern formation and dynamics. You need to be careful because once it's over, right? It's going to move to the downside, to the upside. So you have a limited amount of time to involve yourself with a trade on Bitcoin. Okay, you have a limited amount of time. It's going to want to move out. Okay, it's going to want to move up. It's going to want to move down. Once the threshold is reached in terms of buyers not just supporting at the same level or entering at the same level and then releasing at the same level. Once that dynamic, essentially once they have conquered that level and are ready to move up, right, through an establishment of a pattern, or they have run out of, I'd say the demand has run out and it's ready to move down to reestablish the level of demand. It's just one of the components that makes it easy and difficult to trade. It's easy from the get-go right in here. You can pick up a trade on Bitcoin. I just promise. In the first day of its consolidation, you can pick up a trade on Bitcoin. Yeah, maybe you need to practice at it, but I would fashion the answer that you'd be able to pick up a trade on Bitcoin. Okay. The overall question, the larger question, would be: Can you determine after all of these pickups, the easy going style? Can you determine the pattern framework that it's going to establish in terms of giving you a larger trade? That is the difficult part. And it becomes difficult because of the pattern formation that's accomplished as traders just run in and want to just take small bites at this apple here. Small hits here along the framework of the pricing. But as it carves, it's just, Bitcoin's just very unique in that regard. You look at the bottom line formations, even in here. Yeah, you can establish some quick, easy trades, but as soon as you get directional, she wants to move on you. So she'll usually give you one trade. She'll usually give you one kind of like, okay, I really feel confident about this trade. She may make you wait a while to really get there, with the understanding that the overall pattern formation is this. It's just aggressively traded. It's heavily traded, right? And there's a lot of institutional levels of interest now. I mean, from the JP Morgans and BlackRocks, et cetera, they've all got their guys, their crypto guys, their trading desks, et cetera. So most of them are on leveraged trades, ETFs, et cetera. So what I would say is that demand for product, the entry, the exit, it's an interesting symbiosis that we've reached in 2022. I look forward to seeing how the pricing action develops. But look at all this. Just look at this here. Just can you hit a preceding, right? And as soon as you're going to learn, you have to be able to double down. If you're going in for the preceding pickup here, level of support, yeah, you're going to have to double down, right? Or it's going to hit your stop loss. And surprise, within the threshold, we have this, for instance, we have established that, okay, it'll give you a line of support. It'll let you participate in a trade, right? Same framework, let's say here. It'll give you a line of support. It'll let you participate in a trade, right? It'll give you a line of resistance. It'll allow you to participate in a trade. That's one of the reasons I like Bitcoin as well for new traders, because it'll let you participate. And it's not as brutal as people may think. It's really one of the more hospitable coins to trade, believe it or not. Aside from the dynamics, aside from what it is in terms of the utility, etc., it is just a very I don't know, easy to handle and just a kind of forgiving coin to trade if you guys are new to trading, okay? And don't take my word for it. You guys go tell me whether or not I'm right or I'm wrong, okay? You guys let me know if that's a correct or incorrect statement. And if you're not trading, well, that's not VIP. That's not why we're here, guys. I got to tell you that. Ask Luke. He's on the charts. He's TA. We're trading. That's what we're doing. Want to shout out particularly to Angel, and I don't know what would we say here. Let me. Why don't I give him a recording while we're at this and just say, Angel brother, this is London. Wanted to wish you well. We are streaming right now and wanted to do a shout out for you. You can contact me later on my cell phone. Hope you're doing well. Say hello to Eden Rain and to Nikki. This is London. Thanks, brother. Bye-bye. Just send him a quick message on his cell phone. So there we go. Just he hadn't been feeling well, and I'm like, you got to rest. You got to get to feeling better. We're picking up on that 100 moving average on the 30, okay, on the 30-minute time frame, all right? To the extent that you guys are trading, it's an interesting kind of moment for Bitcoin. As we would look at the different time frames, we could get into the 5-minute. Let's look at the 5-minute real quickly. Just classical. This is just classic framework of Bitcoin, right? To look at the expression that we have currently along this, and I was glad to bring this to the market in terms of this line of resistance here. It's a critical line. This hit along the level of resistance, it would turn into the cross trend line. The resistance hit to the support, carried on through cross trend line, and just very clearly indicated right now just the new. It's a new level of resistance. Isn't that nice? Newly respected level of resistance. So when I say I'm excited to bring something like that to the market, it's legitimately I'm very excited to be able to bring something like that to the market. So the traders right now are looking at something like this. I will tell you on the hourly, are exploring the extent to which, and I just want to bring this up for VIP. Hope you guys are doing well tonight, base campers, etc. Hope you're getting by in terms of the market, more than just getting by. Anybody can kind of get by. We hope you guys are just killing it. We want you to kill it. If you guys have more time to dedicate to the market, that may be the key focal in 2022. How much time do you have to dedicate to the market? It will take your time, I'll tell you that. It requires that. So to the extent that the traders are looking at something like this right now, as a channel formation to the upside, it's kind of a dangerous short to take. I'm just going to tell you because of what I discussed in terms of the nature of Bitcoin, but that amplitude move, there's a decent argument that, and look at that, if we were to go with an amplitude of this channel formation to the upside, there's a decent argument that we would want to retest the specific purple level, just the amplitude of the channel to the upside, okay, that has been formulated here on the 30-minute, right? So it would be, there's a decent argument that we would want to attempt, or at least that people would short right now with some degree, right? With some degree of a capital position and leverage potentially in terms of getting down to this purple line, the 200 moving average on the 30-minute, there and about. So I bring that up because the channel formation is often disregarded, and they can be kind of dangerous trades. I'll tell you that. In terms of them, they can be very consistent or they can be very inconsistent. You have to know what you're trading. So looking at this channel formation here, let's go ahead and dig into this notion that, yes, the amplitude, we would expect it to carry down. And it's nice that it would bring us straight down to this lower target, the 200 on the 30-minute, that 42,165 there and abouts, okay? But within that, I'm glad that I covered the aspect that Bitcoin does like to pick up at the preceding hits here. Okay. Within that, we're going to look at all the challenges that we would have to achieving that lower price were you to look at a short. Okay. It's just, we would also have a support line like this. Okay. We also have preceding hits along on just lateral pickups in this entire zone. Okay. So there's going to be, this is where you start getting into, when I start drawing a lot of lines, I'm going to tell you, I lose people. Okay, it's because people aren't typically trading at lower levels. They want kind of an easy answer. Okay, is it going up? Is it going down? Right? That's typically the question I get. When I start looking more complicated on the screen like that, it's because I've traded a lot at lower levels. And I mean at lower time frames and more aggressively. If you haven't, that stuff's going to look pretty odd. Okay, so but it's something to get some exposure to. It will help you with the entirety of the price action as you look at the macro, if you're capable in dealing with the micro. And I encourage you to push yourself in 2022. Encourage you guys to do that. All right. So we will look at the. Why don't we do this? Inverse head and shoulders covered, the flag covered, the cross trend line covered, a lot of the alts covered. And let's see. I don't know, guys. What do you think? What's tonight? What's the deal? It's Wednesday, the 2nd. Angel is MIA. MIA. That can't be. It can't be good in terms of his health. I hope he's doing okay. Really hope he's doing okay. He's been just under the weather, guys. I know some other people. My doctor got sick. I was like, oh no, I had to go to the doctor. My doctor got sick. They had to cancel. Like, oh no. So a lot of people getting sick, and I don't know. Just overall, hey, it's flu season. Maybe don't know what's going on now. I think everything has changed in terms of the nomenclature to the extent that it's more serious. Please take the required precautions. Please take the required precautions. I really, really urge you to take the required precautions. In terms of this specific ascending framework here, I don't know, guys. What do we got? We got a hit right on our red line. We didn't really get it here. We got a frustration up and through here. So for the market to give it to me now, that's just going to be like, great, thanks a lot. I had to go to the weekly on the preceding one. It was close. It wasn't too far off. I was glad. This is the other thing. I'm glad if and when we get over it. By the way, I'm glad when we get over it. It's just a key indicated line of prior support. That's it. It's the bottom line. So it's not me saying it is. It just happens to be the key focal level on Bitcoin, the prior support. It's more reinforceable than any other technical line of support. So it is, it's not me and my opinion was right or wrong. No, it's either going to beat it or it's not going to beat it. I'm going to tell you, it is that undeniable line on the daily. It's just purely technical. It's a good thing about TA. You don't have to be right or wrong. If you're technically sound, you're technically sound. If you can conquer a level, beautiful. So an exact hit on that level would have been, and actually it's huge that we went up and over it. We did hit that specific extension, right? So the extensions are working in concert with that line right now. Very important because that extension, the flat line hits across that extension. It's just the buyers getting it up to the same level, right? Expressing the fact that maybe we could get it to even a higher level, right? And that's not without saying that fits within the dynamic of the ascending triangle. An ascending line of support generating with a flat top resistance, and boom, we're going to get up to that 55,000. Who wants it, huh? Who wants to get up to 55,000? If I knew it were going to 30, let's see, if I knew we were going to 37,000, if it were going to drop 15% between now and 55,000, would you trade? Are you ready to trade? I am. I like to trade. Maybe you want to hodl. If you want to hodl, well, that shop went out of business a long time ago around here. As soon as Bitcoin went sideways, if you want to hodl, here we go. Wham. For the last 427 days, Bitcoin has been at about the same dang price. So you can hodl if you choose to hodl. But 420 days hodling sideways is not BIP. You have to trade. You have got to trade. Bring the heat. Turn it up. Turn the heat up. This is what we like, guys. It's got to be fun. You got to 400 days sitting on something. It's like, you go, I don't know. Just it's just we trade. It's what we do. Catch a VIP just holding something for 400 days? Shame. Absolute shame on VIP holding something for 400 days. And you would say that until I bring up the oil equation, right? You would have gotten into contracts, okay? You would have gotten some contracts on oil at zero for the infinite money trade, okay? So anything from zero or close to zero to whatever price it goes, essentially whatever price, right? But $115, that's good enough. Kind of an infinite trade. To have infinite money, that's what your goal is. 2022, we might as well declare that for the VIP is just to create an infinite supply of money. I think that would be great. It sounds familiar, huh? To create an infinite supply of money. I mean, if they can do it, why can't we do it in terms of our returns? It is possible. I mean, that infinite supply of money. Put a little joke on it. But at the end of the day, you got to find one of those trades. If you focus on a trade like that, I bet you're more likely to find it. An infinite return trade. Huh. So it's going to go to zero or close to zero, like Bitcoin did around the very beginning, right? And it's going to recover to even say $100. It's just how much cash would you want to put into it? How much money do you want to make? You need to create an infinite amount of money. With the right mathematics behind it, the math works out. Can you get in? Can you get out? Right? Can you get that price you want at the lower aspect? You'll start to answer some of those questions when you focus on an infinite return trade. Why not focus on one? Hey, you want to make 300%, 500%. I want to multiply my money by 10. All right. What if we focus on an infinite trade? I like the idea, amidst all the other implications as to what an infinite supply of money can do for something like Bitcoin. I like the fact that we could focus on infinite return trade. So, yes, we did discuss this specified. Let's look at this. The specified level of resistance. Okay, we'd like a pickup, please. We have a pickup, please. We would appreciate a pickup, please. Buyers should step into the market here at some point. It's been nice to see Bitcoin take off amidst the equities going to the downside. Nice to see a little bit of an inverse correlation when there had been a heavy correlation. We're seeing a very random pattern therein. I'm not even sure there is a correlation right now. There is an overall correlation, but it's really testing the framework of that. I think you guys will agree. So, not a lot of price action. You guys know Bitcoin's one of those you have to kind of leave it alone for just enough time, let it develop a little bit more. And then when she's ready to run, she is ready to run. Right? So we kind of put up with the meantime. It's kind of like, okay, what's going on? When is it going to move? Is the bottom line. Bitcoin, when is your next move? We want to be there, right? But you gotta grit your teeth. You gotta dig into it. You gotta wait, right? You guys know that 29,000. As we look at this 29,750. We had to wait, huh? You guys know this. In the back, we had to wait. Sitting in the back, VIP, we caught that boom. Man, we made some people jealous. Like calling this too, telling people it's a great time to buy Bitcoin. You guys have to understand, telling people it's a great time to buy Bitcoin is a good time, quote unquote. It's a good time to buy Bitcoin. Boom. Boy, we made some people jealous. I have to tell you guys, they're already jealous of VIP. It's just inherent within the function of having a VIP that they're jealous. If they're not into it, they think they belong, whether or not they pay dues, whether or not anything, they think they belong. Well, huh? You got to earn those stripes, guys. You got to earn that. You got to show up. You got to hang around in the back. Luke, you know this, huh? You got to be there, People saying they VIP and they caught something at the low in the back. They didn't catch it. We caught it in the back. I caught it in the back. Boom. So yeah, this is VIP. It's not a, I don't know. It's exclusive. And the reason why is because YouTube recommends it. We insist upon it. We just really do that top level of membership with the perks. The perks of hanging out with dudes like Luke. What's up, Luke? So, Luke, I helped fashion for you a trade and a goal for 2022. An infinite supply of money. you with the children, I think, can appreciate the need for that as well, given the fact that it seems like they are already into Lamborghinis and Ferraris at a young age. I hope I have devised an appropriate solution for you and your family. I think I have, and I don't mean to take attention away from the concept involved in an infinite return trade. So we need to find something that's going to zero, that has maybe a historical level. It has to be just, we'll focus on it. We'll get the parameters together. I like it. I like it. For 2022, that's what's up. That's VIP, huh? Just to get yourself in the mindset of thinking that way. I mean, come on. You have to appreciate the value in that. It's different. Not everyone, who's going to think about that in 2022? Now, we're not going to take away from our Bitcoin trades or anything else that we have going on in crypto. But we're going to keep that door wide open. That door is open. So we're prepared here. You guys know, we are prepared to operate and along the line of this expressed ascending triangle. You need to be prepared for not only for it to operate in this zone, but even to fail this pattern. It's a monster mammoth pattern. It would be really beautiful. I just have to tell you, it would be really beautiful were it to complete down. I mean, that would just be really nice, guys. It would be really, really nice. It would be fantastic. In terms of this red line, the further we push out here, the more uncertainty it would create for the traders and breaking up and out of the specific line, this top line resistance of this ascending triangle, ascending line of support, flat line of resistance. So we want to conquer this like now in this framework here next week, okay? Within the next week, we'll give it 10 days, okay? Week to 10 days. We want this to get up and out of this. We don't want this red line to frustrate in line. I say it's just going to muddy up a pattern that we spent a long time forming already. We've already invested like 60 days. Okay, 60 days in formulating this. So yeah, we'd like to expedite the residual of it, at least forecast in terms of what would be preferable or non-preferable as we would look at this specific functioning of this red line. Okay. Also, have not forgotten about the possibility of the markets saying, but London, you have just broken out of a descending triangle. And London, you're just now going down to reconfirm across the bottom. Let's say this preceding top line resistance to confirm it as a bottom line support to move up. All right? Very cognizant of that. It's a nice formation. Not bad. So let's dig into, let me see what I got on the comment section. Man, Luke, what do you think? Is 2022 going to be a bunch of, I don't know, man. What do you think? Is it going to be, because we had Dogecoin, we had SHIB, we had, I don't know. What is 2022 really going to do? The more we focus on Bitcoin, the more we like it. There's some, special players like Luna's a pretty special coin. There's some other special coins that are going around doing well. We like the utility. We like that utility. Well, sometimes we just like the price to go up. I'm not a pump and dump like specialist at all. I don't like pump and dump, but I'll just tell you, market mayhem and chaos to the upside is a beautiful thing. If you haven't experienced it, I look forward to you doing that. Okay? Just mayhem, chaos, moving to the upside. Now, I do qualifications. It has to have some sort of a management team, right? Elon is fine. You want to be, Elon goes into, there we go. Nice, Luke. Bam. As we look at, Elon doing well, in terms of his position with Dogecoin. He seems like he's still on that train, but it's kind of I don't know. It's not, he's just kind of lost the Doge flavor or fervor Like Floki, man, I have no idea what happened to the Floki project. I'm just going to tell you, have you guys looked at it? I'm going to bring it up right now. I'm going to go into it. We're going to dig into this bad boy. What is this? Okay, we're going to go into Floki. Flokiverse. The world's first socially infused exchange. Flokiverse. What is this? I don't know what this is. What is that? What is this? That is not Floki. That's an offshoot. Floki. Let's look at this. I want to show you guys. This is not what I was expecting. I had to tell you guys this. I'm very disappointed, to be absolutely honest. Now, I'm impressed they got on a Formula One car. Very cool. Ferrari, I believe, is on. Like Ferrari Phantom. These are cool, guys. Velas is on Ferrari. Okay, AlphaTauri, Phantom, Crypto.com, Aramco, FTX is on Petronas, Floki, Alfa Romeo. You know, it's nice to see everyone involved. Velas, my favorite project. I just liked it because there was a nice girl in the front of it. She looks very, very spectacular, I have to be honest. And I liked it was the fastest. So they're on Ferrari. I like that. So those are all of the Formula One deals. What is this? Floki, a new dog and boy. I don't even know how to say that exchange. I think it's illegal. Not that I'm going to be the overall. That's illegal. Can't do that. It's illegal. No chewing gum and walking. It's illegal. All right, look at this. Whoa. What is this?
I got low and I knew where to go. Hands in a pocket, I said please don't pity. You don't have to ask, just take it.
All right. That is not what I wanted to see for a Flokiverse. I have to tell you, doesn't mean it won't be exciting or it won't take off or do really well, but that is just not what I wanted. This little dog warrior, this little character right there, I wanted to see something really impressive, like a 3D immersive environment where you were literally like a Viking, like, taking off and doing cool stuff, like going on a ship and conquering things, and like, kind of like, what was that, Raiders of the Lost Ark with Floki in it. Now look at this thing. Yeah, that doesn't cut it for me, guys. That's not what I wanted from Floki. Big disappointment for 2022 in the form of Floki. Now, will it do well? Potentially, it'll do better than way we wanted it to do. But let's just look at the framework is there. That's not Valhalla. I got to tell you guys, I have this specific image in my mind of what Valhalla should be like. It should be Floki at the front of a boat with his horns on the head, everything, and literally charging through the waters to go conquer foreign territory. It should not be. It should never have been conceived that they literally would have put them like they're on a square, whatever's kind of a peg stone board with a floating, I don't know what you call it, a witch hat, like a witch hunt hat with something spooky. I don't know, but I don't like it. Is the problem. And I like Floki. I like the returns it produced, but it's down 90%. It's just Floki. You lost me, man. I was a fan. I want kids to play with things that are nice and fun and cool. I don't think like a bear and a weird spooky hat casting spells on a stone cold floor is Valhalla. I mean, come on. Cute little pup have Elon. Sure. Cute little pup have Elon. But need, sorcery and witchcraft to entertain children. Negative Ghost Rider, the pattern is full. Okay? do not need like, spooky little magic hats floating around. I just, it's a cute little dog. No problem. Keep it a cute little dog. Do something fun. Put it in the front of a ship. That's my 2 cents. I had to get that out of me in terms of come on. That's not cool. But I just had different expectations for Floki. So these new projects, always be prepared for them to go the other direction. Like, we'll learn that. You know that. Just is the case, huh? Burn, Floki, burn, huh? I don't know what the supply issues are anyway. But anyway, looking at this specific line of resistance, may want to confirm off of this. May want to come back down and confirm off of this. If we get down to on Bitcoin, man, just saying Bitcoin after that Floki review, I feel so much better. I don't know if you guys feel better. Don't you feel better? It's like Bitcoin. There we go. Back to Bitcoin, something that makes sense. Just the raw energy of digital money is beautiful. Don't need all that other stuff, guys. Don't need some weird dog doing spooky tricks on something, I don't know. It's just weird. It's okay. Resistance. Let's look at the specific line of resistance of Bitcoin that we're trying to get up and over here, to the extent that that is a formulaic descending triangle. It becomes interesting to retest this level of, and let me get into here. It looks like we already have. Getting into the specified, pull this zone out here. There we go. I'm really matching up the specific lines of the candle wicks, and from this 52,000 down to this specific 45,895. If you're still invested in Floki, go for it. I hope it does. I hope they change it. I just can tell you that. I want kids playing with cool stuff. Have them play with Ferraris. Have them play with something cool. Like, do something else cool. Like, that's not cool to me. Do something fun for kids, like important for kids. That's not important for kids to play with, like a spellbound witch hat or something. I mean, is it? I don't know. Maybe these days they view it as being important. I don't. I view Bitcoin as being important. So, extend right line. Let's go on into the hammer through the technicals. It just could have been a cool project for kids and families and everything. So anyway, I'm not soured out on anything other than the fact that those are just the decisions that people make in terms of how kids are going to spend time, I guess. Anyway, maybe I'm a bit too, I don't know, my expectations are too high. Maybe that's only one part of the Valhalla. Maybe that's an aspect. Maybe they're going to do more things. Looks like they have some degree of work or training in mind there. So we'll see. Level of resistance. Looks like we're close, real close to coming in contact with this specified prior resistance. That would be the target for me. Okay, were I to be making a decision, if you're making a decision on entry right now, all right. Now the entry at the 50% retracement, 50% retracement, obviates the entirety of this discussion unless you've chosen to trade along the top. Okay? So entry down here, you're not really worried about this move right here per se. You're looking for a bullish pattern formation and maybe a cut from an overall larger pattern that were to demonstrate itself in line with, maybe this take that we had along this level from the preceding attempt to establish a bullish pattern, i.e. a bull pennant, right? Cut down and breach of a bull pennant. That'd be a real clear take. This, we were a little bit higher minded within the top level feature here with a specific, and we'll just go into this specific bull flag, right? There within. So we're waiting for a bit more of that level of patterning to give us a bit more of an idea or understanding as to the direction that we're going to be headed. We have done so in the framework of, yes, this descending triangle, active level of resistance, prior resistance to formulate a support in play. Make sure you have that on your desktop, on your trade station, okay? This level of, let's talk about this horizontal level of resistance accomplished to meet the definition in line with this ascending line of support. That is the definition of an ascending triangle, extremely bullish. And just always remember, you can stack, just for purposes of understanding, you can stack a descending triangle on top of an ascending triangle. If you ever get confused, I don't think you should. You guys should know the difference. right? Descending line of resistance. Ascending line of support. Bearish, typically bearish, just so you know. They can operate as a reversal, but typically bearish. Bearish if they're at the top by the probabilities. Bearish if they're at the top. Let's say that, and that's probably good for the purposes of the example here. Bearish if they're at the top, descending triangle, then the ascending triangle. Just understand the framework that they are put into and be competent to be able to discuss those and particularly to trade those. So that we're having some kind of hitch along this red line is fine. We're looking for some degree of patterning, and if it could be a good few interesting days for Bitcoin to pick up and provide some trades. If you guys haven't traded yet, get on into it. Get on into the 5-minute. Get on into the lower time frames. See what it is that you can fashion around starting to trade Bitcoin. See if you'd like to trade Bitcoin. Maybe you don't like it. Maybe you don't like crypto. Maybe you want to go trade oil. Go buy some more oil. It's $115 a barrel. Go take you some options out on that. Futures. Looking at what else is up in the market today. Let's see what we got. Not a lot of action. DOT down 2, AXS down 2, SOL down 2, Matic down 1.65, Gala down 1.65, BTC down 1.24%. So I think we've done a good job. Luke, nice to hang out. I bet you that Angel is just half one eye open and closed on the couch in recovery mode. So Angel, brother, hope you're doing well. Would like to fire your rocket off. That would be nice. That'd probably get you feeling better. I turned you into the spaceman. I don't know if you got sick before then or after that, but I do like the spaceman feature. That's Angel. He is up. Maybe you need some more insulation. Cover up, be warm, get well, period. We're going to say thank you to everybody at the Crypto Kingdom, all our VIP and base campers. Make sure that you join. Guys, we look forward to a good 2022. This is London. I'll be in the back. Let's go do some charts in the back, guys. Show me what you're trading. And